My name is LaTorre, and I am a teacher here at Sparks High School, currently in my second year. I teach web design, business and marketing, and we're getting into some computer science stuff. And that's when I was introduced to Pavel Solin, who runs the NCLab, and we got some licenses going throughout the district where kids are able to come in and have an opportunity to practice and experiment with some coding on the computer, create some things, just do some things that really aren't available to a whole lot of students. So NCLab is able to offer us four different topics, if you will. There are four different sections. It starts off with Carol, and Carol's a robot, and basically what happens is students come in and they type in some code, they hit the play button, and the Carol robot is actually able to go through lessons and mazes and actually collect objects, set them down, and then finish the level where the students can actually experience that success. When the students are finished with Carol and the whole game thing, they then move on to Tina. So Tina is more complex in the code, and what ends up happening is the students still type in that code and they still hit a submit button, but instead of actually moving through a maze, the Tina, which is a turtle in this case as opposed to a robot used in Carol, Tina will actually draw a shape of something. So students are playing with squares and triangles and building houses and things like that, which is very, very interesting. They're playing with angles, so they have to know math and they have to know logic and problem solving, which is great. And now what students are working on primarily in this class right now is 3D modeling. So the students are typing the code, and they're hitting submit, they're seeing what the code is making, and then if you have access to a 3D printer, you're able to send that to a 3D printer and it will print an object. So one thing that we've made recently, and this was actually in a class for teachers, but students will be making these here soon enough, is one of these little cubes, and inside of it is a ball. And what ends up happening, a 3D object like this, okay, it's built on layers inside of the 3D printer, which is really amazing. So students are able to conceptualize the idea, they're able to see what it looks like, and then they're able to actually print it out and hold it in their hands just like a tangible object. So they're really able to take pride in what they've been able to create. And it is a direct relation to this little guy right here, and it's just amazing what the students can create if they can think through the problem, they can get the code to show the way they want, and it's just amazing to see how far the students have come. And NCLab's really just done a great job facilitating. They've been able to help with resources and things like that, and the students have bought in, and it's amazing to see how far it's come here in just 3 months. In just 3 months, it's been a complete 180 in terms of what the students perceive it to be and just how much success they're experiencing, and it's just going to get better and better in the future. The fourth section of the NCLab package is Python coding, and Python coding is a widely used programming language throughout the world in computer science and computer development. And with Python, the students will really experience success because they've been able to go through Carol, they've been able to go through Tina the Turtle, and they've been able to go through and succeed with 3D modeling. And once they have a pretty good foundational understanding of those three sections, they can get into Python and really understand what it's doing, because it's difficult. Python is the most complex of the four sections, and rightfully so. So students need to have background, they need to have a foundation of knowledge in order to understand what they're going to be getting with Python. So late last semester, we got word that the district had allocated a bunch of licenses from NCLab to actually use in the school district. Sparks High School, we jumped on this opportunity because we know that computer science is the future. We know that computer science is being taught in more classrooms now than ever, and we know it'll soon be a part of all schools throughout the entire district and throughout the entire nation, because that's how important computer science and the understanding of that process is. So we jumped on that bandwagon as soon as possible, and we were able to get 30 workstation licenses, okay, that are specific to 30 students. And we were able to use those here at Sparks High School. So we're sort of piloting this entire process, the NCLab package, for the entire district. And from what I've seen and what I've experienced with NCLab, Sparks High School is just the tip of the iceberg. every school in the district will eventually have NCLab because of its capabilities, because how well students relate to it, and because of the overall good it does for students. I personally am not a professional with coding. In web design and development, we use HTML, we use CSS and JavaScript. So this has been an eye-opener for me as well. And from having no background with any of this coding to where I am now, able to comfortably speak about it and use the programs, it's really been phenomenal. And I would do it all over again if I had the chance. I look forward to getting back on the computer later this afternoon and continuing to go through the course so that I understand it, so in turn the students will understand it.